at 5:04 p.m. Can we have a roll call, please?
Yes. Chair Kevin Dayton,
Here.
Ben Beasley,
Here.
Vice Chair Adam Gonzalez,
Here.
Kurt Obermeyer. You have a quorum.
Great. Public comments, this is the opportunity for anyone in the public who wants to talk about issues that are not specifically on the agenda. Is there anybody who has general public comment? Seeing none, we'll move on. Review and adopt minutes of the June 5th, 2024 Citizens Bond Oversight Committee meeting. Anybody like to make a motion to approve
I'll
that?
go ahead and motion as corrected.
Yes, that's corrected. Second. All right, roll call vote.
Chair Kevin Dayton,
Aye.
Ben Beasley, Vice Chair Adam Gonzalez,
Aye.
Kurt Obermeyer. Motion passes.
Approved. We'll go to Ryan for review financials for Measure I and project updates April 1st, 2024 to June 30th, 2024. That's the fourth quarter.
Thank you. As stated, this is the review for the financials for that quarter, that period of time. It's a rather large packet because as this quarter, there's a lot of activity with projects that are starting or wrapping up with given the time period. So my recommendation is if we want to just maybe take 5-10 minutes, review it. If there's any questions, feel free to ask during that
That's a
time.
good way to go about it. And just bring up questions as you review each page.
Okay. And as a reminder, you're only looking at Measure I. Measure P has been completed, so we're just focused on Measure I.
All right, give you another minute and we'll move on. Any more time? We're all set? I guess just for the public who's listening, the Series C are the short-term maturity bonds that are used for the technology, correct?
Correct.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to the detailed project expenditure backup. Warrant activity for July, April 1st, 2024 to June 30th, 2024, quarter four. Ryan, do you have an introduction to what this is?
Nothing other than to say this is the report you just reviewed. It's the same exact information, just presented in a different way, so that you can actually look at. The previous was to look at the projects, overall. What you'll be reviewing next is just looking at the actual report by vendor and what payments were made to those vendors in that quarter.
Very good. Well, we'll take, let's take 7 or 8 minutes here just to go over the entire thing and ask questions as they come up.
I had a question, but I don't know if it's pertinent to the expense.
Page number?
For the technology costs. The district cost, office street laptops. We have varying amount costs. Low end, $364, high end, 2.1 million. For those computers do you get a lot of time out of them? Do you get at least like 2 or 3 school years out of them before you have to upgrade, or is this something that's being replaced like?
No, it's a good question. The student Chromebooks, they typically last us 4 to 5 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you can still expense it for a 60-month, over 60.
Yes, yeah, they may go a little bit longer than that, but on average, the last, when we have to replace breakage and those sorts of things, but as far as the device that functions, we'll get, 4 to 5 years out of them, maybe even a little bit longer, just depending.
That's cool. That's all I was hoping for. I was hoping that it was an investment that was had some longevity to it, and it's not something that was a yearly.
If there wasn't part of the bond measure, is there a line item in the annual expense reports to replace that?
If it wasn't funded through the bond, yeah, we would have to figure out a different funding source for it. So there's several options that may be, but we'd have to factor that in. As of right now, we have it factored in as a bond expense, but if that in the future wasn't available to us, yeah, we'd absolutely have to figure out a different funding source for it.
Yeah, the only other question I have is, does this satiate the needs that the school has, or is this just satiate what was queued to, whatever school was queued to receive the technology at that time? Or is there more schools waiting for that kind of technology revamping?
Yeah, it's across the board. So we did it was all students received a new Chromebook. So we replaced every student's Chromebook.
Oh, okay.
It's like, or Terrace Elementary, this is Cal Shape Energy Grant. What is that? Cal Shape Energy Grant.
So CalShape, what we try to do is always maximize, either matching funds, state funds to go along, with bond funds to make sure we can stretch those bond dollars as far as we can. CalShape was a state grant, I forget what the acronym is, California Schools. I have to look up what the acronym stands for, but essentially they provide us dollars to upgrade the plumbing and HVAC infrastructure. So what you're seeing there is expenses related to our portion of the costs shared with the state to replace thermostats in the classroom. So we replace thermostats in the classrooms that have CO2 monitors on them. And so it helps with the air quality because CO2 is detrimental to
Right.
kind of a learning environment, right? As the CO2 levels go up, people get tired, doesn't create a good environment. So these, what they do is they monitor, and as soon as the CO2 levels reach a certain point, it kicks on the fans for the HVAC units and kind of brings in some fresh air. So that was a collaboration or coordination we worked with the state.
Air filters also.
Yes, and air filters, thank you. That's Rick Mickey, he's our one of our project managers for the bond program. You just came out of nowhere, Rick. You're a voice in the clouds.
Like a ninja.
Could you imagine if every classroom had air quality like you have in Vegas? The oxygen, you know, they pump the oxygen in the rooms. I wonder if that would have you know, if it would be worth the cost to run an experiment like that to see if it actually helped children focus and work better.
Yeah, there's definitely research around the air quality, not just CO2 is the primary factor, right? Obviously, there's other things that could be in the air. But having fresh air or filtered air, there's research around how that impacts specifically for us. If kids aren't getting sick as often, they're in school, they're learning more. So that's one benefit. And then while they're in the classroom, maintaining a positive CO2 level, so we're not reaching the upper limits of those thresholds, creates also a positive environment. So there's some research around that, and that's the reason why the state was able to add this on as something they were funding, because there is significant research about it, and especially coming out of a pandemic, right, and all the things that we learned through that process.
Sure.
The name of the program, by the way, is California Schools Healthy Air Plumbing and Efficiency Program.
Thank you.
CalShape. It's from the California
Yes.
Energy Commission.
Yeah, well, it was on the tip of my tongue.
So many acronyms.
Oh, yeah.
I had a question, Ryan, for Marina High School, I see there's $11,742.47 for legal fees. Did you anticipate a legal challenge to those lights?
What page was that? Is this the
That's
Marina
on
High?
Page 46, 47.
Your Marina High School.
Yes.
Seafield.
No, there's most projects will have some sort of legal fee component to it, just because there might be contract documents to review, or a larger scale project, there may be some bid documents that we need some review on, or depending on what some of the responses are from the bids, we may need to consult legal counsel. And then that particular project, if it does have a sequel component, like lights would have, there would be legal fees around that too. Not necessarily litigation, but just preparation for things that you need to do that require an attorney to review.
The bid for that has been awarded, correct?
Yeah, Marina Heights project has been awarded, it's under construction, yeah.
That's right. So no receivable objections there.
Yeah. No.
We did have a bid protest on that one before we awarded.
That's it.
Yeah, so bid protest could be a reason why we had to reach out to our attorneys and incur some legal fees.
There's a company I used to work for. Magnum.
Marina High School new field, State Water Resource and Control Board. Do they have a drainage ditch or something there that you need to pay that for?
Rick might have a better answer to this, but in general, as part of construction, we have to work with them on various different measures and things of that nature, especially if it has a drainage component. So working with the field, adding all the components that will impact drainage, but we work with them on a few different projects.
I can speak to it a little bit. There's a inherent problem that the maintenance department had that rolled into our project for the field.
Right?
So yeah, it's connected to that. Any other questions?
Do you have anything? State Water Resources Control Board, I believe it's resources, I don't know if you can change it. Let me make sure that's correct.
What page?
Mention the page number. And hold on.
Oh, it's page, I think 80.
It should be resources.
Yes,
Okay, I'll have our individual directors for our vendor accounts to correct that.
anybody have any additional questions? We'll take one more minute just for the last looks. And it is resources in the total, yes.
But yeah, I'll let individual. That's easy.
A lot of service costs. Architecture, wow.
Yep. Very lot.
We should have been architects.
Definitely a big business.
Any other questions?
Any other questions?
You all set?
Okay.
Okay. Committee member comments?
Future meeting dates first.
Oh, excuse me, yes. Next meeting, December 4th, then you're the only other person here. Is that day okay with you?
No, I can't make that.
Yeah.
You can't make it.
I think we were aware of a conflict. What we would like to do is we'll circulate an email, maybe get some dates
Okay,
that work, and then we'll reschedule that. So Heidi will send it out to you all, and we'll figure out a date.
sounds good. And we may have as many as 4 new committee members at that time, which means that our meetings are gonna be a lot longer because people are gonna be going through this all the time and ask the questions that we've asked over the past few years. So, but we'll do it. That's what our job is to do. And with people out there now considering another bond measure from the district, you know, we have to do our job and do it well, and we can report back to people. So, any other comments?
I would just like, this is Mr. Gonzalez's last committee meeting with us. Just wanted to thank him for his service on behalf of the district and the community. Thank you for all that you've done. Really appreciate it. And
Sure, I was happy to do my part. And sorry I had to back out, but I'm pursuing education right now myself. And it's in conflict with my classes this semester.
no problem. Completely understand. Just thank you for the time that you served with us.
It's time for more people in the community to step forward. So,
For sure.
we're gonna push on that. I'm gonna talk to the school board about it and do my own. All right, with that, we'll adjourn.